We had Billy Blanks in here earlier. He was talking about his why, and he's obviously got this fire inside him that just kind of takes him beyond what his physical body can take him. It sounds like you've got this similar thing in you that takes you beyond what your body can probably normally do. There's something that kind of pushes you. What is that in you? What is it that's doing it for you? What's that reason that you want to do this crazy stuff?
You know, that's a crazy great question because when you said Billy and you said that, I related because we had a conversation about that. You know, as he gets older, he gets better. You know, no, seriously, as he gets older, he gets better. And you say, how Billy does that? The same energy, the same amount all the time, all day. And I put it when a girl asks me or I do these videos about me, said, how Chef Rush can do that? How can he do it? He can't do that. And the first thing I say is get rid of can, turn it to can, and then you actually have to show them. You don't have to show them, but they just see it. They see it. The fire in me is for everybody else, for those people, those kids, or those ones, because mental health is so severe in this world today. It's a epidemic. It's a pandemic. It's everything. Now, 2023, I've been pushing for a lot of people. You know, that's one of my platforms, and I've had hundreds of thousands of kids and people with PTSD and women and men and children come to me and say thank you and for it. So I keep pushing. I keep letting them know that it's okay. I keep letting them know that we can do it together. The same way we did for Eric the trainer today, the same way I do for them. But honestly, when they come and say thank you, I'm saying thank you back. I mean it. I need that as well. You know, it is a give and a give back. It's not a take and a take. It's not a take. It's too much take in the world. If you have givers and givers, you'll never go wrong. You never go broke. You never go hungry. You never look over your back. A lot of people in this world, they want to see what you can give them and how much they can take from you. And the part about it is if we just give together and be at the same level and be at the same time, we won't have to worry about a lot of things. And to me, people is what drive me. I'm not even supposed to be at the FitExpo. I canceled everything I was going to do just to come here, just to get this energy so I can keep on giving. And it was important. I've been here for the last 2 days and I've taken thousands of pictures. And everyone said, I'm sorry, I mean, I'm like, no, come. I want you to take a picture. I want you to know because there's a reason you came to me. It's like you inspire me. And you inspire me also for coming here because I hear so many different stories. They don't just come from me for like, oh my God, you're a great bodybuilder or your arms or whatever. They say, I love your message. I love what you do. I love how you add comedy and you add the stigma of different personalities or PTSD or suicide awareness or, you know, toxicity or even trolls or bullying.
So there's a lot of people we know that on the surface look as though they've got it together, you know, physically, mentally, but in a lot of cases, you know, they've got, you know, demons going on in their head. For people that are listening to this that are kind of in that place, what have you found are some steps that you can take to kind of, I suppose, get a bit of a grasp on reality and move slightly forward to where you are at the moment? Because it's one of the things that, you know, we've talked about it quite a lot on you know, with some of the people we've had today. You know, sometimes you can get into that mental state and it's a very dark place and it's very difficult to move on. What are been your experience in that?
I've been in those dark places. I live in those dark places. I was in an inpatient for 6 months, another inpatient for another 3 months, and then outpatient for a year. And I've lived those. And honestly, I'll be extremely blunt with you. I'm still in those dark places. And I have to work on it each and every day. With PTSD, it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just stop. People say, I used to. There's no used to. You still live with it. It still can be triggers. Like I use coping tools. I use people as my coping tools. I use people and helping people to narrate it, going to therapy over and over for a year and trying to find a balance. And there wasn't any balance, or it was me actually fighting, you know, unconsciously fighting with her or with him or trying to find out and then being medicated to death. I mean, medicated with a lot of medicine because they just said, let's just give him all this medicine. And that's what they did. And it was a lot. And I was lost and I felt like a puppet. And one day I came for a microsecond of clarity and I just threw everything away, which was the worst thing you could possibly do because I couldn't whim off all of those because it was like 30 different medications and I would not have the time or the energy. And what happened was withdrawals came. But after a very long time and being sick from that, it was a clarity and it felt like someone was lifted off of me. And then I had to change and look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, I need help. And that's when I started. I first did one of my national shows, and I said, I have PTSD, and it's okay to say that. It's okay to say you have PTSD or have PTSD, but not okay not to get some type of support. And so I started getting support, and I went over and over again. I had to find that balance with myself, even from meditation, which didn't work, and I did my own type of meditation that worked for me. Everything is not going to work for everybody. So don't try to force it. If it doesn't work for you, change it. If the therapist doesn't work for you, change them. If the medication doesn't work for you, change them. Don't just take somebody for their word and just try to do it. I didn't do that. I never was that person. And when I had that clarity and I changed it, and then after literally the longest of time, I realized that when I started meditating, I meditated about everything that was bad. Everything, don't think about bad. I say, no, I have to. I have to because I have so many demons, and they're going to be there every day waiting for me. They're going to wait for when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to just be sitting, waiting for me to mess up. So I had to think about them. I had to meditate about them. I had to accept that, because the truth of the matter is that people try to say, well, I just keep everything positive around me. It is until somebody blows that horn or cuts you off, and then all of a sudden, I got you right then and there. Instead of just saying, maybe they're in a hurry. That'll be all right. I don't care. But my mind, we get triggered really easy. And so the thing about that is that I think about everything negative, and then I'm okay. I'm expected it. And every time something positive happens, it's enforced 100 times over for me. Going to see people, inspiring people. So if I have one bad apple in 100, it doesn't spoil the whole group. It just spoils that bad apple. I can deal with that. Right. I'm okay with that. I'm okay to throw that bad apple away and save the other 99.
Right. And do you, in terms of what you're doing now, you're helping a lot of people. You're a big contributor. Is that part of? Does that help in?
Absolutely. Does it help? 1,000,000%. It helps. It helps. What's your legacy? What are you living for? It's like your kids. You're nurturing, adapting. I treat people and the natures of people like my kids. Like I would want people to treat my kids. If you think about that and stop being so selfish, complacent or entitled, and think about everybody else except yourself, we can all be on an equal level, whatever. Not thinking about the monetary value, not thinking about, the celebrity value, the influential value, but just thinking about value in the same. Everybody has their own place. It doesn't matter on that part is, regardless of how it is or what it is, you just treat people the same. So when I say that about that is that I want everybody to look at everybody in that same light with that same respect. And that's the thing where it comes in where some people, and it happened to me a lot in the military. People looked at me, I was a big guy. I was here at what I am, and they wanted to humble me, per se, meaning that they wanted to flex and show that they were my superior. And that was a terrible thing to do to me because I was never that person. I did my job diligently, and there was no reason to. But some people just have these personalities or these egos, whatever it is, just to show that they're empowered, make themselves feel better. And we get that every day in life.